What is happening? It's me, Mr. Willie T, and we are live again for the daily blog. I don't know if I made yesterday's blog. I might have got so busy and just forgot about it, so I apologize. It happens, especially when we are no longer counting down the days, we are counting down the hours to the first application process in the Oregon Psilocybin program. Now, I know there's all kinds of stuff, and we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the Shroom House in Portland. I think when that hit, I probably I heard about it a few weeks prior, maybe about 2 months ago, but didn't think too much of it. And then when it hit the news, man, everybody sent me a copy of the article. It's great. Of course, and the owner has now kind of answered back, and explained that they're not a public dispensary. They're a membership program where you go, you get your membership, and blah 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 blah. So that's kind of what they're doing. They have a membership program. So far, there's been nothing that's happened to them. I hope nothing happens to them because I'm all about freedom. Even if you ain't necessarily following the rules that they made that everybody's following, but we'll see how it all unrolls in the next few weeks, right? So if you haven't checked it out, check out the Shroom House. I think Coin is the one that popped the story. I love it though. The story, it has this one guy in there. He's like, "Yeah, man, I read about it on Google. I thought I was tripping." Nah, not yet, bro. You're not tripping yet. You gotta go there first. All right, but that's pretty amazing news. So we'll keep our eyes on that. But what I want to start discussing in the next couple of days, we're coming up to it. We got one of the last drafts of the initial rules out now. They're of course going to have until the end of the month to put the last one out. It's supposed to come out on December 30th, which gives us a whole 2 days to write up a whole bunch of SOPs, a whole bunch of programs, a whole bunch of everything so we can submit it for our application. Oh lordy, just might as well buy the case of Red Bulls right now. So but that's going to go down. What's up to the people tuning in? Hello, I see you, Cassandwich. What's up? How y'all doing? Perfect. All right. So today I want to discuss something we call we didn't call it. They called it this. The client's bill of rights. So they put this in the thing. They literally wrote the whole thing out, which is nice. So you just kind of got copy and paste. So that's kind of a good benefit. Of course, add to your own thing is there. But I want to discuss some of these, kind of read a couple of these to you guys, get y'all's opinion. Send some questions if you got any questions. We're talking 70 pages of information out right now. It does read better than a lot of other OARs I've read and a lot of other statutes I've read before. But it definitely still is a tough read. But yeah, here we go. So the client Bill of Rights. Of course, we go into a whole thing about being treated with dignity and respect. When you're receiving psilocybin services, to receive culturally competent care, to be free from physical, sexual, psychological, financial abuse before, during, and after receiving psilocybin services. I mean, that's a good one. Could you imagine, being really cool? Bro, you didn't buy the most expensive package. What's up, Dorothy? Why did you get the most expensive package? Are you a broke? No. I think anybody that's doing it properly is going to do a sliding scale. We are for sure. So, to make decisions without coercion or under influence, to be fully informed of the known benefits and risk associated with psilocybin service. And see, the thing about this Bill of Rights is it actually is attached to a whole slew of paperwork. I made a comment recently about, hey, welcome to our psilocybin program. Are you ready to sit for the next 2 hours and do paperwork? It's kind of a joke, but it's kind of real. They literally got multiple consent forms, awareness forms, release forms, And it's going to be a little process when you actually attend one of these sessions. Not only that, you literally have to attend the session before the session, then you have to attend the session before the session, and then you got to attend a meeting session before the session, and then you can have the session, and then you got to have an integration session when you get out of the session, and then a couple follow-ups afterwards. So, anybody that's thinking that, like, this is going to be this open market where we come, we eat some mushrooms, we have fun, we leave, it's got its steps, It's not medical, but it definitely feels like that with each step. There's definitely going to have to be, facilitators are definitely going to have to work through each step of the process, make sure all the paperwork's filled out. I mean, there's even a paper that you got to fill out if you want to, like, high five each other. So, like, they do set up some standards for, how much psilocybin can be consumed. So one of the things I enjoyed for, like, say, microdosing sessions, that is going to be possible. It's going to be a 1 hour session, which, is okay. It seems a little long to me. I think a 30-minute session would have been sufficient, but, you just take the punches as you roll with them. But the best part is you can be, for the size of psilocybin it is, I believe it was up to 5 milligrams of psilocybin acylate, which is basically like the purest form, which basically comes down to like half a gram of mushrooms. So basically, like, a small dose, right? 25 people could be under one facilitator. So that's going to be great for, your, like, everybody show up in the morning. Everybody make sure all their forms are properly signed. That's actually a good question, is if you had people show up and the forms could be good for a period of time, or if each form has to be done for each session. Because if you did maybe, like, a group session every morning where all your members showed up and everybody came and, everybody took their daily dose, everybody, like, worked themselves up, we're going to have a great day, say it with me, we're going to have a great day, things like that. That, hopefully the one paperwork works for all that, and maybe you could get it so you could just sign the one, re-sign, or who knows? That's a good question for a lawyer, right? We got a whole bunch of those, right? Sweet. So let's keep going down this list. Of course, privacy, confidentiality is important in this. To refuse to release any personal information to third parties, except as required by law. Information may be required to be released by law when a client initiates a complaint, when communications reveal an intent to cause harm, or others to disclose that a minor may have been the victim of abuse. Okay, yeah, that's good. I can't believe you literally have to have that in the form, but hey, that's the way it is. When responding, and of course, just so everyone knows watching, it is 21 and up. There's no reasons, no anything. There's no medical excuses or anything. It's 21 and up all the way through. So to fully disclose any facilitator conflicts of interest, to a fully accounting and explanation the cost associated with receiving psilocybin services. That was another thing I thought was in the program that was kind of, I thought, was a decently well thought out idea, because we all are facing 280E paperwork, when it comes to taxes and stuff, and they made it so that the psilocybin services can be separated from the facilitator services and the service center services. So if you got some good lawyers and some good CPAs on your team, you could hopefully work yourself out of not completely losing your ass when it comes tax season. But it'll be interesting to see how we move forward on that. There are people. So you got to put that in terms and conditions. Yes, there are people that's hush hush. Plus, it's one of the things I think that that was a little bit different than the cannabis on this. For the marketing side, when they did cannabis, it was great because they basically listed out every single person that's applied for a license and everybody that's been approved for a license and everything. So you could start your marketing really early. Like if somebody applied for a license, I would have your basic info and I could easily look you up, contact you, start selling you, right? Okay? Everybody right now is like, what? They could do that? Yeah, bro. If you got a marijuana license, your name is on the list, and I can get you that list. Okay, it's public record. It's easy. It's easy. Okay. But here with the psilocybin services, at one of the meetings I actually asked, they aren't going to allow that. They're only allowing public records of licenses that have been approved. So that kind of protects, all these therapists and doctors who are thinking about applying, or maybe apply but then they decide to not go through with it or anything like that, which kind of sucks for the marketing thing, but hey, it's good for confidentiality. Man, I am telling you, this is 2 pages of the whole thing, so it just keeps going on and on and on and on. But it's good. It's good that they have all these, to request a private space in which to receive psilocybin services. So, if you want a private area, once again, they're going to have, a sanctioned administration area. That's where people go to get their psilocybin administered right before their, experience, before their time. So it sounds like if you want to have a private area, that's good. Another thing I loved about it that they just got too, they are going to allow outdoor facilities as long as it's in the facility compound. So, when we get that when we get the nice one on the ocean, on the redwoods, we're gonna be able to do that. And of course, to discuss this Bill of Rights with licensed facilitators and service center operators without facing discrimination or retaliation. And of course, definitely have the right to report all this good stuff and to make any complaints to Oregon Health Authority regarding psilocybin services or products. Yeah. And so you can find that on the Oregon.gov website if you want to take a look at the Bill of Rights. They pretty much listed them all out. They make us have to post it in a prominent location within the licensed premises and must provide every client with a copy during their preparation session, So I can imagine we're going to put this on the big wall. Everyone's going to walk in. You can be able to see it. We'll probably have something where we all read it together or something. I mean, some way that people will know that this is a session that's going on. And then we'll start the long process of all the paperwork. Do they consider a microdose in the state of Oregon? So that's a good question, and I want to pop that answer up for you very properly. Let me pull this. So they did label out. Oh, look at this. I found me a agar machine makes plates for you. Oh my gosh, I'm so gonna invest in that. Alright, for clients consuming up to 5 milligrams of psilocybin. God. Okay, I'm a high school feeling dropout, but that don't mean I'm stupid, alright? Analate. Basically, the single by itself. I don't know why they don't call it isolated, but isolated. And then there's probably a very scientific reason why it's not called isolated. I look forward to the answers on that one. But the isolated psilocybin thing is 5 milligrams. It's considered the microdose for 1 hour. So if you take 5 milligrams, you're there for 1 hour. If you take 5 to 10 milligrams, you're going to be there for 2 hours. Hero dose is going to be 35 milligrams to 50 milligrams. Now, if you go to a website called, they pay at me, but they probably should, Illusiana, psilocybin content calculator. There's a calculator that will give you a rough answer. You can easily put in, 10 milligrams into this calculator, and it'll calculate out to you. That's basically about 1.3 grams of dried psilocybin. But once again, this is just, kind of to give you an idea. All your psilocybin growers, manufacturers, they're going to have to get everything lab tested. And once it's lab tested, then they'll actually know the rate. So you actually know exactly how much psilocybin you are consuming when you consume your edible or your dose, or ever how you proceed to enjoy it. I mean, we even got a water coming out, so it could be as simple as a little drink. Of course, lemon tech. That's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. Sweet. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. They are going to allow up to, I believe, 50 um, milligrams total. Yeah, the minimum duration of the administration session shall be 6 hours. So 50 milligrams, and I think I did the math on that one before. That was roughly 6 grams. So, you people looking for your hero doses, yes, roughly, calculated the estimated psilocybin content of your dried mushrooms. It's roughly going to be 6.66666667 grams at 50 milligrams. So yeah, roughly 6 grams of psilocybin is roughly your hero dose. And I don't know about you, but I would be a little scared to take a 6 gram dose. I mean, I've ate some good chocolate bars, that are 5 grams, and I can't even make it through a third of the chocolate bar without having a very intense, powerful trip. But that's also because, good chocolate bars who are doing it properly are turning everything into psilocin instead of psilocybin. So, that is some interesting rules that are coming out. Pages and pages and pages. I look forward to going over this over and over and over and over again with a fine-tuned comb, figuring it out. One of the things I thought that was kind of a little rough was that administration sessions are supposed to end at midnight. That includes like after you consume your mushrooms. So that means, you're supposed to be done by midnight. There's no, 8 o'clock parties that last till 2 or 4, I guess. So that's just what it is. But, yeah. And then, of course, too, a facilitator is going to have to contact all their clients roughly 72 hours after the event to put them through an integration program, make sure they're good. One of the other things, too, that everybody's going to have to think about for a facilitator, if you're going for a facilitator license, you're going to have to develop a whole bunch of paperwork. like, let's just put it this way. I had roughly, because I'm blocking out my hours right now to try to make sure I can actually accomplish all the tasks that we are still working on doing. And I had blocked out roughly 35 hours left in SOP work, paperwork, operations plan, a couple other things like that. We already have most of our business plans and stuff like that, some basic SOP plans, but the SOP plan to match it up to their specific righted plans. And 20 hours, and I kicked it up to 35 hours. That's what had happened. So, because we're gonna have a whole bunch of extra plans, including so what I was saying was there's now a travel plan. So you have to make sure every single one of your clients has signed and agreed and presented a travel plan. So, and I really doubt a customer is going to walk in and you're going to say, I need you to present me with a travel plan. Please write down all your travel plans on this paper. No, it's going to be like, you got to have the plan put together. You need to have the operation put together. That you're going to take X amount of steps. These are steps to make sure that your client is going to safely get home because they safely can't operate a motor vehicle. And you are civilly liable if anything should happen to them between that small period of them trying to get home. So, that's going to be a fun one. Geez. That's a business idea. Money right now. You guys can write this down. I'm going to give you a free one. Here you go. Psilocybin transfer services. There you go, man. Somebody can make money off that. You can just drive people home from their psilocybin service and get some dollars. You know what I mean? Shit, hit me up when you decide to make that business plans, because I might be to need to use those services myself. Not for me personally, but for my clients. So, mushy Uber. That's what it is. Yeah, we would need to get a bus that actually runs. Or that, let me rephrase that. We need to get a bus that doesn't just die after it actually ran. So, But yeah, a bus would be good. Mushy Uber. Mushy Uber driver. I like that. Have you heard of Lyft? Well, have you heard of Lifted? Heck yeah. All right, so that's been the discussion for today. There is a lot to do in this plan, and what I think I want to do for the next 30 days to help, you guys are helping keep my juices going because I am in the middle of like construction projects, cleaning projects, transfer projects, investor projects. Working on SOP, it's so hard for my brain to just like switch from one task to another, and back to another. So I'm hoping that sharing some of this stuff will help you guys kind of get me geared up for my long nights, because that's what I stay up doing at night now, is working on these SOPs, working on these operations plan. And so I'm hoping that these conversations help gear me up and make sure that I get all my I's, all my T's crossed, and everything ready to roll as soon as we launch in January. So, and we aren't the ones that are going to be sitting here, December 31st, December 30th. I'm sorry I'm not celebrating my favorite holiday, New Year's Eve, because we're going to be just busy writing, because January 3rd, we're going to be seeking our first inspection and getting operations going. So when you facilitators are done and you actually got through the program that they wanted you to spend $10,000 on and do a resume, I'm signed up for one of those. Yeah, we're working on it. Jesus, so crazy. You want a resume? I got to pay you $10,000 and give you a resume. The $10,000 is the resume to me. Okay, but I digress. The once you guys get approved, once we're approved, we want to make sure that we have psilocybin products ready to go, ready for your clients, so you don't have to sit around and wait for a bunch of yokels to get ready to roll. And on top of that, if you are a mushroom grower and you want to get a head start on thing, we're going to have inoculated bags, we're going to have inoculated dishes ready to go out the gate. You could be growing and supplying your client in 2 weeks instead of 2 months. So make sure to keep us on lock. No news. Yeah, that's all right. Always hustling. You know it. With the mushrooms. I can see about taking a day trip. All right. We'll keep you in tune. Sandwich. Definitely. Always need a help around. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check me out tomorrow. And leave me any messages. Feel free to direct message me if you have any questions. This is Willie T, and I am out, y'all.